Hi folks, welcome. Just a brief update on progress on the Fazer. It's going to be a very quick one today. There wasn't an awful lot of boxes ticked. There was a lot of labour went in and a lot of progress made, but not an awful lot of boxes ticked. So what's happened was, where we left off was that the frame was rubbed down the last time, and I was trying to solve the problem about the welding over here, which unfortunately I have failed to do. We couldn't kind of get somebody under the right circumstances to come out and do the bit of welding, so it's going to have to wait. Now what happened in the meantime though was I did a lot of the spot repairs to the paint. So the likes of this area here, all across that area around the centre stand, all that area has now been painted with my beloved Hammerite smooth black. The areas here, that's all done, or at least it's kind of spot repaired. You can kind of get a sense of the finish, which I enjoy quite a lot. So I think that's you've got this area all touched up down here in around this area. This area, this kind of part of the engine cradle on both sides has been done. Also, I just decided to not cover up that. I just painted that in and done some various areas. There was a bit of rust around here as well, up around the headstock area, and the same kind of more or less left and right. So it's just kind of looking more like a finished article. So once that was done, I just left it cure for a few days while I went on with the prep of the engine, and the engine has been done. It was extremely tedious, extremely time consuming, and it's still only well, it's probably 3/4 done. There's still a few bits and pieces to do. I wanted to do the casings separately. They're lined up here, and just given the circumstances at the moment, it's quite difficult to get materials. I need some abrasives, and also there's on this finish, God, it's some really tough stuff. I don't know what it is. It's taken absolutely ages to rub that down. So I took that casing, the clutch casing was left off to provide access for this area. I wanted to get as neat as finish as I could in there. There's a little bit of tape across the engine number boss there, so the next thing I was to get the casings into as good a condition as I possibly can, and to prepare those, and also to cut back the edges of these fins. I'm going to get a little bit of enamel clear coat as well, to just just give them a little bit of an OEM look and a kind of a little bit of contrast with the silver, just to get it looking as standard as possible. Like, obviously I think I would have liked the original satin finish, but I use PJ1, but I think it's just a little bit too dull for an OEM look on an engine of this era. I used it with kind of the older engines. We had an Ordi 250. We painted the engine that with PJ1. I think they called it Fast Black, and that was a lovely kind of period kind of OEM look. But I just thought it would be a little bit dull here. So the three options that would be viable would be this kind of high gloss Simonized engine enamel, which, through our own experimentation with our friends' bikes and so on, it's very durable and it's very attractive. I think it's a bit glossier than I would like, but it's still a good quality finish. And or else it is that awful chalkboard grey, air quotes, black high temperature paint, which is just not good as far as I'm concerned. I'd rather polish the whole engine than put that awful finish on it. So for the rocker cover, what you're looking at there is the spare rocker cover. We just used it for masking purposes. That's just going to go back on the spare engine, but this is going to be the rocker cover original to the bike, which, as you can see, still needs some further cleaning up. Now the product that we're going to use for that is going to be it's going to be Rust-Oleum. It's going to be, I can't remember the name of the product, it might be there somewhere. It's Rust-Oleum enamel silver. We did a bit of experimentation on it, and it seems to be doing the business as well. It's definitely, no, I think you might be inclined to, being such a fan of the Hammerite products, the Hammerite smooth silver would be the thing to use on this. It's kind of just a straight metallic silver, but it's absolute garbage. Just stay away from it, run a mile. It's absolutely terrible. It's infinitely lower quality than the rest of the range. But luckily we bought a can of the Rust-Oleum equivalent, and we did some experimentation with it, and it actually seems to be a decent product. Not cheap, none of these products are cheap. A can, a 400ml can, is about €17.50. I'm sure it could be got cheaper than that, but we were very restricted where we can get things at the moment, especially with postage. So there'll be that. That'll be silver. There'll be some nice silver detailing on the ends of those fins. This is going to be as good a finish as I can possibly get on those casings and fresh gaskets to put on. But I think that's pretty much it. Obviously you can see the front of the frame has been painted up as well. And so the kind of bottleneck item we have now at the moment is this welding. It still is. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to carry on with the engine, and hopefully we can get our welding situation sorted. Then I think, as I said, this is only a quick update. There's been a lot of hours gone into it, but not a lot has changed apart from this finish, which I'm very pleased about on the frame, and under the masking on the frame. The finish is brilliant. I'm very pleased with that. It would be really nice to kind of get to the point where I can kind of join the dots and get the frame completely done, because the next milestone after all of this the painting business is going to be, I'd say, even after the engine painting is finished, but before we can kind of probably get to the welding, I'd say the next milestone is to get the bike rolling again. So we're hoping to sort out some of the wheels and throw the swing arm back on. The other major thing I did, which is under here, is, pardon the bin, is the swing arm and rear suspension is all been kind of gone through. It's great. Again, I was concerned that we would have to refinish this, but it's brilliant. It came up way better than I anticipated. I've been through all the bearings and everything. All the bearings just need a clean out, get the old schmoo out of them, and just grease them up, clean them out, grease them up, and that's pretty much all we're going to have to do there. So the bike is actually pretty close to being put back rolling again, which is something I'm really looking forward to. And obviously it will make things a little bit more convenient. We'll be able to take it down off of this janky kind of a stand, which it's been great. It's worked really well, but it would be nice when it's back onto its center stand. The center stand is behind me there again as well, and we'll paint that too, obviously, and that'll be put back in before too long. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Wish me luck, and I'll see you next week. Thanks very much.